humankind at a crossroads. Lauren, are we really at a juncture right now? Is humankind really at a crossroads?
Well, it's interesting because 30 different ancient civilizations all across this globe that were not geographically close to one another all had a common theme running through their prophecies. And while many dismiss these prophecies as myth, when you begin to look at the commonalities that arise within them, you begin to say, well, maybe they do have something here. Maybe there is some fact that lies within this. And what is common to all of the prophecies is the fact that the year 2012 was the end, as many people are aware of, the end of the Mayan calendar. So December 21st, 2012 marked the end of the Mayan calendar and marked the end of essentially an elliptical orbit that our solar system travels around the Milky Way galaxy every 25,920 years, and it's called the precession of the equinoxes. It takes that long for our Earth to kind of wobble and go through this whole orbit. At the end of every 25,920 years, the civilization living on the planet is given a test. And it's essentially a test of consciousness. And what we're learning today is that the secrets were destined to be revealed, these ancient secrets that speak of the power that we hold within, that we are not, that has been long suppressed actually, but spoken about in all of the religious texts, regardless of the religion that they are attached to. All of the religious texts spoke of, you will do what I do and more, this kind of thing. Jesus said that, and many people spoke of this. And the books that I've written actually go into what the secrets are. We identify the secrets, and then we learn how to utilize this power that has long been suppressed by the powers that be in our world.
So, you know, when we see the problems facing the planet today, you know, whether the oceans are going to stay clean, whether our air stays clean, whether our food becomes genetically modified, whether people seem to be rioting in more and more countries.
Yes.
Brazil recently, Turkey, they're still at it with the police pushing people away from the park over there, and Egypt doesn't seem to be settling down. I could go on and on.
Yes, yes.
And you know, how do you connect those events to this concept that the ancients spoke of?
Yes.
How do you connect the two?
What I've learned, and I didn't know it would unfold the way it is. When I was writing my books, I knew nothing of these issues that were about to unfold on the world horizon. But what I learned since that time was that crises and events of magnitude are the catalysts for waking people up to the higher purpose of life, essentially, for moving into a caring and a compassion for our fellow brothers and sisters around this world. And as human beings, we have a tendency to simply stay within our own sphere of our lives and trying to make our own lives better. And we don't really think too long and hard about what's happening to others in the world. Some of us do, but most of us are mostly concerned with our own immediate life and our family's immediate life circumstances.
And I think, to interrupt, I think that one of the reasons for that is because our political and our economic system keeps people in this rat race.
Yes.
You know, people are trying to pay their bills.
Mm-hmm.
People are trying to, you know, put their child through school. And it becomes overwhelming to think about, well, what's going on the other side of the planet? Or what can I, little old me, what can I do about, you know, the environmental catastrophe in Fukushima? Or what can I do about the oil spill that happened in the Gulf of Mexico? So I hear you. You're saying that we have a higher purpose, but how do we get there with these challenges that we face every day?
Well, the ancients spoke of the time we are now living as the purification. Now, what that means is that as our solar system travels around the Milky Way galaxy, at the core of our Earth is an electromagnetic energy. Now, as we draw nearer and nearer to the Milky Way galaxy in this elliptical orbit, which means as we're heading the narrow part of the elliptical, what we're doing is we are drawing closer to the Milky Way, the core of the Milky Way. And we pass the equator of the Milky Way galaxy on December 21st, 2012. The energy on Earth is amplified by the energy at the core of the Milky Way galaxy. What this does, and what the ancients were speaking in terms of with the purification, is that everything on the planet is amplified. That which is good is amplified, and that which needs some work is amplified. And this is the way that we, the human race, who wish to move to the next higher level of evolution, that's essentially what we're doing right now, we have to first identify the issues that no longer serve the highest good of the human race. Once we identify these issues, and we begin to formulate some kind of vision in our mind about the future we wish to create, because indeed we are creating our future. And the Maya tell us, now is the time to envision the world and the future you want to live in. So many different documentaries right now. The Thrive documentary, Zeitgeist, The Addendum, and Zeitgeist Moving Forward, two excellent documentaries, or three excellent documentaries actually, that lay it out for us. And what they speak of is the infrastructures within our nation, at least we know of, that certainly no longer serve the highest good. Whether it's the judicial system, that's now filled with statutes and allowing the legislators the banks to dictate to the legislators what they want as far as laws are concerned. It is really, it's gone so far away from the original content of common law and justice that it needs some work. And the monetary system that is really exposed at the core of and the foundation of our whole society, this monetary system, is actually the means by which we are being enslaved.
Yeah, I don't think many people understand when they go to the grocery store and they see that the food prices go up every 3 or 4 months.
Yes.
It's not even every year. It's like every 3 or 4 months. My wife will come back from Costco or wherever and say, like, oh, guess what? The tomatoes went up like $1. And the first thing that comes to my mind is our monetary system. I don't think about the supply of tomatoes because I don't think it really changes significantly year to year. And if you notice, the prices don't drop substantially for, gas or tomatoes or orange juice or milk. They only tend to creep up. Do you want to explain how our monetary system works for people who don't know, and how that affects the prices they're paying at the pump or in the grocery store?